Hello there, folks. Welcome to Underlords Universe. This is part four of a series that my brother Brent and I are doing on the Ozzy Osbourne studio albums. This is a place where we like to zoom in now and again and continue our lifelong discussions of the bands and artists that we love and inspire us to do our creative thing called the Underlords of the Overworld. We'll put links below if anybody's interested in checking out our stuff. But in the meantime, what we did was we did uh, three previous episodes where we took Ozzy Osbourne's 12 albums, divided them up into four chunks. So his earliest, his middle section, and then his latter four albums. And we did a kind of a deeper dive into those chunks of albums, talked about high points, low points. And then at the end of each of those episodes, we kind of ranked those four chunks. Well, now we're seeing where they all fall, all 12 of them. And the way we do this is we rate every song on an album up to 5 points, and then we divide by the total number of points possible. That keeps us kind of, I don't know, sometimes there's surprises even to ourselves about where albums rank. And that actually happened here as well. And uh,
Mhm.
and there was a bit of a struggle because because what happens when albums tie? It's like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? So if anybody's interested in seeing part one, part two, part three, I'll link those below as well. But this is kind of the shorter aggregate episode where we just kind of say, here's where all 12 Ozzy albums ranked. And we can kind of just chit chat a little bit along the way. So
Yeah,
Brent, we're going to start with number 12, right? Are we ready to go?
let's start with number 12. And number 12, it's actually a surprise right off the bat for me, but I'm ready when you are.
I am ready. For number 12 for me is the last Ozzy album, Patient Number 9.
I got Osmosis, number 12.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Now, I will say, precursor, there
Hmm.
is 23 100ths of 1%, which separates the last three records. It's basically a virtual tie between all of these.
That's interesting. Okay. Okay. In the number 11 spot for me is Ordinary Man.
Ordinary Man,
Ah, interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay.
kind of an ordinary album.
Okay. Right. Number 10 spot for me is Black Rain.
And number 10 for me is Patient number 9.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Number 9, but it comes in at number 10.
Right. In the number 9 spot for me is Scream.
I have Down to Earth.
Okay. Okay. Um, Number 8 for me is Down to Earth.
I have Black Rain.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Um, it's number 8. Number 7 for me is Osmosis.
I have Scream, number 7.
Okay.
That's
Interesting
a
how
big,
interesting how your
yeah,
last place album is like right in the middle of the pack for me.
yeah, that is weird. So now we're cracking into the top six.
Yep. Yep. So this is the top half. Okay. So the number
Mm.
6 spot, or excuse me, yes, number 6 is for me Bark at the Moon.
And for me, this is going to probably surprise, maybe disappoint some people. I have the debut, number 6.
Number 5, No More Tears.
Number 5 for me, it's No Rest for the Wicked.
Ah, okay. 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 Number 4. Now
Now we're
this,
in the top one third of his catalog. These are
yes.
the top third. This is our favorite third.
Now, before we go any further, there were two albums that tied, and earlier I placed them one above the other for a certain reason, and now I'm going to switch them for a different reason, and I'll explain as we kind of get into it, okay? Um so this is the number 4 spot, right?
Yep,
Number 4, I'm going to say Ultimate Sin.
me too.
Okay. By the way, my dog just came down here. If that light moves or falls over, it's her fault. Okay,
Okay.
so number four, ultimate sin for both of us. Okay.
Yes.
Number three for me is
And number three for me is No More Tears.
mine's Blizzard of Oz. The number two spot for me, No Rest for
Number
the
two for
Wicked.
me,
Uh,
add Bark at the Moon.
okay. All right.
So that means we agree on number one.
Number
And number
one
one,
seems to be everybody's the fan favorite, Diary of a Madman.
I don't see how it couldn't be.
It's hard to argue against that.
Yeah.
So now we've just kind of disclosed our ranking. So here's what I'd like to do to kind of round out this series is just kind of address like where some surprises were for you. For me, there's the issue of Blizzard and Ultimate Sin tying and how I shifted that around in the rankings.
Mm,
Um, I just want to address some of those things. So when we did the first four albums, I actually ranked Blizzard ahead of, or excuse me, Ultimate Sin ahead of Blizzard of Oz, and I did
right.
that because first of all they came out at an exact tie in the scoring. So to me, the tiebreaker at the time when we did that first episode, the tiebreaker was, and I actually agree with this still. Ultimate Sin is, I think, much more of a consistent record start to finish for me. Blizzard of Oz has maybe some higher highs, but also some lower lows. Like, for example, I am not and never have been a huge fan of Goodbye to Romance. I just don't like that song.
I'm not a huge fan of it either.
Um, No Bone Movies is it's a good song, but it's not like a great song or anything. It's just kind of like there. It's like, okay, it's a little
It is.
corny.
It's
Uh,
great.
And, but when it came down to the ultimate list, this time I decided, they're still tied. I'm just going to break the tie in the opposite direction. And here's why. Um, I think a few of those songs on Blizzard of Oz just have the greater staying power. And I'm not talking necessarily about Crazy Train. That's overplayed. You go to any sporting event, you're going to hear it. I don't ever need to hear it ever again. That said, it's got a great guitar solo in it. Um, But, Steal Away the Night is one of my favorite Ozzy songs of all time. Mr. Crowley is so cool. I don't know, is great. I just think that maybe some of those higher peaks, to me, I just decided, kind of big picture with the total ranking. I'm just going to break the tie by going with, well, what are the songs that are more likely to stick in my memory bank. But ask me this again in a week, and I might be like, yeah, Secret Loser, Never Know Why, Lightning Strikes. Those songs they stick in my mind too. So
Yeah.
any given day, these two albums could kind of flip around. Um, No Rest for the Wicked and Diary of a Madman. These two albums actually scored 0.6% different. I mean, these even could actually shift.
Yeah.
They really could. I honestly, on any given day, I might actually say that No Rest for the Wicked is the best Ozzy album. Although I would probably lean towards Diary a little more often. Um, those are the elements there that really kind of took me. The latter part of his catalog um, was not that surprising to me. The only other thing I'm going to say is I think some stuff on No More Tears is some of the best stuff he's ever done, but I do think that there's some duds on that really kind of drag it for me down a little bit. So anyway, that's how I rank. I'm ranking the Ozzy albums right now. A year from now maybe it'll be a little different, but that's where it sits for me right now. What say you?
Well, we agreed on some and we disagreed on quite a bit. I too had a lot of close calls, and if you have a tie, you kind of have to decide what your tiebreaker is. My tiebreaker is usually, if it's a tie, I pick the album that has like five-star songs if there are on it. I just kind of
Oh
look at
yeah.
it that way. Like, I didn't have any ties here. I had some really close calls. Like for example, Bark at the Moon was 1.25% below Diary, so it was actually pretty close to being number one.
Hmm.
Um, my surprise is Osmosis coming in number 12. And when I re-listened to this record
I'm
again
surprised at that too. Yeah. Yeah.
when I listened to it again for the first time in a while, a lot of the songs are just kind of blah. They're just kind of there's not a lot of hooks there. There's not a lot. It's not a particularly heavy record. Not that heavy means it's good. It's just
Right.
a lot of stuff there is kind of boring, for lack of a better. It didn't really do a whole lot for me. Um, Scream finishing number 7 for a latter period Ozzy record. That was kind of a high placement for that. Nipping at the heels of Blizzard of Oz, which for a lot of people is like the ultimate Ozzy Osbourne record. So that was a bit of
Yeah.
a surprise.
That surprises me
Um,
that that worked out that way for you too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's about 1% apart.
Yeah,
Um,
that's to me, and a lot of people would say like that's crazy, but that's kind of the charm of why we're, the way we're doing this.
the other surprise was I thought No Rest for the Wicked was probably going to be top 3. It came in at number 5 for me, but it was only like 1.1% behind the Ultimate Sin.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only like 6 percentage points that separate number 1 from number 5. Um, so yeah,
Okay.
it's really close at the top. Um,
What is the percentage difference between your number 12 and your number one?
um, 16 points.
Okay, for mine it's 26.
My number 1 got 85, and my number 12 got 69.
My number 12 got 49 and my number one got 75.
So we're 10 off, 10 points off.
Yep.
But I would also say that in looking at this catalog, I'm going to say that 8, maybe 9 of the 12 are pretty solid. And for me, that means they scored 70% or more.
Mm-hmm.
We had 3 of these records that scored below 70, and they were close to 70. So as kind of a guide, it's a pretty solid catalog.
Yeah.
Obviously, I generally listen to the older stuff more, but in doing this exercise, I realized how much I like The Ultimate Sin. It's a really good record. I liked it when it came out. I like it just as much today. No Rest for the Wicked is still a really good record. Can't argue with Diary, number 1. Bark at the Moon rated a little bit higher than I thought it would, but I love Bark at the Moon. I mean, there's some really, really good albums in this catalog, and I'm really glad that we did this.
Yeah. Well, as always, it's fun to our system, people might find fault with it. It's not a perfect system, but the reason why we do the rating system that we do is because um we want to have the potential to surprise ourselves with how the numbers bear out and to kind of create a system where we may not know what the result would be. And so it kind of forces us to kind of go back and listen to the albums with fresh ears and to
Mhm.
try to be objective as you can be in a totally subjective exercise, I guess. And ever since we decided to start doing this, it's just I think kind of created a framework for listening to music in a way that's kind of made it fresh again in a lot of ways. So,
Yeah,
um,
because we do listen to the records again. You go back and listen to some of these. I hadn't listened to Osmosis, and I mean, it could have been 10
yeah,
years that I'd
yeah,
listened to the album straight through. So it's really good to approach it with a clear head and fresh ears, and kind of jot down your thoughts as you're going through it, and you might be surprised what you come up with, because we
yeah.
usually are, and that's one of the reasons why we do it. It's a lot of fun.
Right. So, if you're an Aussie fan and if you've stuck through this little countdown, if you haven't seen the other videos and you want to check them out, their links are below. If you want to, oh, I just spilled coffee. Oh my gosh. If you want to check out the stuff that we have made, I'll put links down below as well. And like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff if you are interested. And if not, God bless you. That's fine too. It's a free country. So. Um, I
But you might, you really might. It's
yeah.
possible.
Yeah, I guess what's next on my docket is I gotta finish the new Dream Theater Live album DVD.
Mm,
I'm gonna be checking that out and finishing that today on surround sound.
I think
Uh
I'm going to listen to
yeah.
I have to evaluate the Spock's Beard record, because we're going to be doing
Yep.
we won't be long. We'll be doing an album of the year episode. That's
Yeah,
coming up.
for sure. So lots more to listen to and lots more to talk about. So until next time, thanks for checking it out and have a good day. Take care.
See ya.